Hello, welcome to this Emergency Services Research tutorial. My name is Ben. I will be conducting this tutorial for you today. What we're going to do is find out who your librarian is for emergency services, as well as look at how to do searches in the library to find articles. First off, I want to introduce you to your librarian, whose name is Karen. She is the librarian over emergency services, criminal justice, and she's also the MPA librarian. You can contact her in a variety of ways. You can use Teams, but you could also use the appointment option on the library's homepage, which is uvu.edu/library. And if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see appointment right there. If you click on that, you can select if you want to meet with her in person in her office, or if you want to meet using Teams. You just run through the process and you'll have an appointment set up with her on a specific date and time. So what we're going to do now is talk about how to do searches in the library. And I'm going to teach you guys how to do some complex searches that will give you good search results and improve and make your life a little bit easier. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to search for Homeland Security, like this. Now when I do a search for Homeland Security like that, it's going to look for both words anywhere in my search results. To make it stay together, or to make it more specific, we put it in quotation marks like this. And then it looks for that as a phrase, meaning Homeland Security in that order, and not just each word individually anywhere in the article. This would bring up a lot of results, so we want to narrow this down a little bit more. So what we can do is we put the word "and." The word "and" will narrow your search. It connects your search words and tells the database that you're searching in, which is where we're going to find our articles. It tells it to look for this word, or in this case, this phrase, and this other word. So let's say we're interested in immigration. So Homeland Security and immigration, now all of our results will have to have both of those search words in order for it to be returned in our search results. Now there are synonyms that we probably should consider. So in this case, we could search for Homeland Security or national security. Now when you use "and" after using the "or," you do need to put that in parentheses. Now let's think back to algebra, the days of algebra, if you can remember those. When you put something in parentheses in algebra, that is done first, and that is also the case here. So it's going to look for either one of these synonyms or related words, Homeland Security or national security, and then it's going to see if the articles also have the word immigration. This just saves me from having to do two separate searches, one for Homeland Security and immigration, and then a second one for national security and immigration. And just to let y'all know, you do need to put the parentheses around the section that is got your "ors" in it. Now there's another synonym here that we could use, and that would be migrants. So we could do "or migrants," or just "migrant," which is a synonym for immigration. And then we do need to put that also in the parentheses. Remember, all the "or" sections have to go in parentheses. And one other thing I would like to show y'all is that we can do immigra, which will take the root immigra and search for any word that has that root. So it'll fill in the endings. That would bring up immigrant, immigrants, and immigration. So then I don't have to search for those different words individually. All right, so that's the search we're going to do. And what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to our library's website one more time. And we're going to talk about doing searches in OneSearch and in ProQuest. Now, what's the difference? OneSearch searches for everything we have in the building. That includes books and other things, as well as some articles. But ProQuest is more robust, and it has most of our articles in it. So that's the one we're going to look at. One other thing to note is that when you do these searches from the library's website, you can do them off campus as well. You'll just need to log in using your student ID and password. Okay, so let's use ProQuest, and we're going to start off by doing Homeland Security. And I'm not putting it in quotes because I want to show you guys what the difference really is. I want you to see it. So we're at about 2 million. Now when I put this into quotation marks, it will narrow our search a little bit. So now we're at 1,600,000. The next thing we want to do is keep adding on the other words and search tricks that we talked about. So now we're going to do or national security. Put that in quotes so it's a phrase. Just to let y'all know, if it is a single word, you do not need to put it into quotation marks. And this will broaden our search. So now we're at almost 5 million. Definitely want to narrow this down. So now we need to put this in the parentheses because we're going to add on the word and. Immigration. And that brought us down significantly to just under 500,000. Let's do our truncation, or putting on the asterisk. And the asterisk will depend on the database you're using, so check the help section. Okay, that did broaden us now. We're a little bit over 500,000. But we're going to do our or migrant. And again, this should expand our search. We want to be inclusive and get all the research on our topic. So again, that's going to look for migrant or immigration or immigrant or immigrants. All right, so we're at 600,000. Let's talk about how to narrow this. On the left-hand side inside of ProQuest, you're going to see some filters. Here is peer-reviewed. So let's say we do want it to be peer-reviewed or scholarly articles only. Those are written by professors to professors, so they're written at a high reading level usually. Next, let's look at the publication date. Let's say we want the past 12 months, so we just select that. So we're at 700 results now, and let's scroll down and open up our subject filter. This is a great way to narrow down your search based on the subjects that are tied to our search results. If we click on more, we're going to see all of the subjects. And I really like ProQuest because it has an include option as well as an exclude option. So let's say we're interested in migration, national security, immigrants, immigration. Scroll down a little bit, here's migrants. But look also, there's things we may not want, like we're not interested in COVID, let's say, or the pandemics. And let's apply that and see where we end up. Awesome, we're at 232. I like that. Let's take a look at a result here. The second one sounds interesting: excessive use of force and migrant death and disappearance in southern Arizona. So let's open that guy. Our article shows up here in the middle, but you could also download it as a PDF in the top right. It will give us a citation option here if we click on Cite. I believe you guys should be APA, but if you're not, you can always change that to your citation style that you need. Please double check them to make sure they're accurate.
You can also contact the Writing Center to get help with your citations.
Use the copy button here to copy it, and it should copy all of the formatting and everything, and then you can paste it wherever you need it. Again, double check them so that after you paste it, you can fix any problems with them, because sometimes they do have errors. To save it, you can copy the web address according to my tech person. However, I did have one break recently, so I usually like to look for a copy URL option or a way to save it. If we go to all options here, you will see an email option right here. If you look on the right-hand side, you'll see a research assistant. That's ChatGPT built in, and it's offering us suggested sources. So it's saying, hey, did you like this article? You might also like these. Being ChatGPT, sometimes it does still make mistakes. Sometimes the relevance is not really there. It might suggest an article, and you're like, well, that has nothing to do with the one that I just got that I liked. Other times you'll see on the right-hand side, it might summarize the article for you, and it might even also give you ideas for additional topics that you could do research on.
If you use it for summarizing, make sure that you go back and read the article to check for accuracy, context, and nuance.
And just again, remember that AI sometimes makes mistakes. Sometimes it leaves out important things when summarizing. So double check everything when you are using AI. All right, now let's go over to OneSearch here. And let's do the exact same search that we did here. Just want to show you guys the difference when using OneSearch. Again, OneSearch will search some articles. It'll search our books and other things that we have physically in the building as well. All right, we're at 96,000 results. Let's just go ahead and look at our filters. If you look at the top right up here, you'll see all filters. Click on that button, and we have an option for scholarly peer-reviewed journals. And then I'm going to go and look for our publication date, which is here, and select the past 12 months. It does have a subject filter as well, but I'm not going to do that this time. That brings us down to 68 results. I do want to look for the one that we found in ProQuest, but you should often find new articles in one search. Sometimes there's overlap, like what I'm going to show you here today, but usually it's all new articles. And also, you guys don't ever be afraid to go to the next page of results when you are searching for articles, because sometimes you actually will find something very good on the page 2 or 3. All right, so here it is, excessive use of force and migrant death and disappearance in southern Arizona. Let's open it up. To get the article, in order to read it, you have to go to Access Options. In this case, it's actually going to send us back over to ProQuest where we originally were. But sometimes it'll send you to a new database, or it'll give you the PDF when you click on that. Up here, you're going to see a citation icon. If we click that, it will give us our citation, and we have to change it. Let's go APA 7th edition, and then you just hit copy to clipboard. Again, remember to double check them for accuracy. To save it, do not copy the web address. In OneSearch, it will break when you're off campus. So instead, come to this icon with the arrow, click on it, and it will give you an option to get a link here, as well as to email it to yourself. Sometimes when you click on this, it won't have a PDF or a link, or maybe sometimes you're searching on the web or searching Google Scholar, and you see that they're asking you to buy an article. There is an option that allows you to get articles and books from other libraries because they might have it in their library. So let's jump back over to the library's homepage, and this is a free service here called Interlibrary Loan that allows you to request books and articles from other libraries. So if they're asking you to buy it, or we don't have a book that you would like, you can come in here and for free use this Interlibrary Loan to request those books and articles. If it's an article, you will just download it as a PDF straight out of here. Okay, last thing we want to talk about here is our databases link. When you click on our databases link, you're going to see all of our subscription databases. There are 281 of these, but we can filter this to only show our emergency services databases. And we hit filter, and now we're only seeing 19 databases. The top one here is Homeland Security Digital Library, which we recommend, as well as Military Intelligence, and we also recommend Science Direct journals. These are not included in ProQuest or OneSearch, so it's brand new content for you, which is why we're showing this to you. All right, so the last thing I want to cover here is that we do have some library tutorials, and if you click on that, you can go in there and watch any other tutorials that you might find useful. You can use them to learn more advanced search techniques, to review what we've talked about already, so feel free to do those. In this tutorial, we've talked about where to search for your information, like which databases. We've also talked about how to do complex searches that'll save you time and give you good search results. And lastly, we've talked about who you can reach out to get help with any of your research needs. On this page, you can see that Karen's on the right-hand side with all of our contact information. But just as a reminder, if you go to the library homepage, you'll see the appointment option there. And again, Karen's also available through Teams if you ever need any help. Please reach out to her. She's very happy to help.